What's up, everyone? Steve here, Fanatic Perspective. Very, very happy. Big 28-17 victory over the Chiefs today for the Dallas Cowboys. I actually decided to put on my Miles Austin jersey since we saw him on the sidelines today. I always said about my man Miles. He's always ready when called upon. So it was cool, to see him there. Tony Romo's first game. We'll actually get into a little bit of Tony's commentary today a little bit later in this video, but very, very excited for the win today, guys, and just looking to hear what the national pundits have to say after this victory, because we were questioned about not being able to beat some of the elite teams, and we had loaded up on some bad teams, even though we beat Washington last week and they went up to Seattle and handled business today, and we're still a 500 football team, but that's neither here nor there. The Chiefs 6-3 still. They have beaten some elite teams, including the Eagles. And we handled our business at home today. And not only just handled our business, but many points of this game, we looked very, very dominant. One of the things that Tony Romo actually referenced at the end of the broadcast was that we really should have won this game 28-10. Outside of that fiasco that happened at the end of the first half, we had so much control over the line of scrimmage on both sides. And that's what won us this football game today. Coming out again, running the football, being physical at the point of attack. And yeah, we didn't run the ball all over the Chiefs today, but just that physicality opened up so much in our play action passing game, and just having the ability for Dak to have clear throwing lanes. The Chiefs are very, very aggressive with their stunts at the line of scrimmage and what they do. They play a lot of tight press man, and we exploited a lot of that stuff today. It wasn't a good matchup for them. Let's just be real. It really wasn't a good matchup for the Chiefs, and we exploited a lot of things that they were doing. Terrence Williams had a huge game. They have Marcus Peters at corner, but picking on Acre, Des Bryant also, I think he had 6 catches for 73 yards before he got injured, and he had a couple that he could have even came down with as well. Cole Beasley had 2 touchdowns today. Very, very effective out of the slot. Like I said with my man Miles, ready when called upon. So my game ball still, though, is going to go to that defensive line. And it's hard to get pressure and generate quick pressure when you're going against Andy Reid offense. West Coast offense, I like to get the ball out very, very quickly. But we were still just dominant at the line of scrimmage. I think we only had 2 sacks today, but we got hits on Alex Smith. Got him off his spot so many times where he didn't look comfortable, where he would have completed passes, and I've seen him complete other passes against other teams. But we, again, consistent pressure, being in his face, hands up. Our defensive line rotation is incredible right now. DeMarcus Lawrence is a legitimate Defensive Player of the Year candidate. David Irving, I believe, now has 6 sacks, and he's had a sack every game he's played since his suspension. Malik Collins has been effective. Benson Mayoa, when he's been in there. Taco got his first sack today. I was very, very happy for him. And it wasn't just like some hollow sack. He got a sack on a key 3rd down when we needed to get off the field. So the defensive line has impressed me. And they're going to get my game ball. But the MVP in terms of this turnaround and this 3-game turnaround we've had on defense is obviously Sean Lee. Having 50 back in there, calling the defense, getting people lined up, in conjunction even with Anthony Hitchens coming back too, has really shored things up. I think a lot of us heard them mention during the broadcast that the 2 games that Sean Lee didn't play, we actually gave up 164 rushing yards per game as opposed to averaging 82 when he's in there. That's huge. Kareem Hunt, who has been amazing, after the Watson injury, is probably the favorite for Rookie of the Year. We pretty much shut him down today. And I know he only had 9 carries, but that was also a function of us getting them in 2nd and longs and getting them in 3rd and longs and making them one-dimensional, because they're not a traditional drop back down the field passing team. They really only have one legitimate threat down the seam, which is Travis Kelce. Tyreek Hill is an outstanding player, but he's not, a guy that's going to run the whole route tree and you got to chase him all over the field. That's just not the type of player he is at this point of his career. I want to go over to the offensive side of the ball, because I am really impressed with how well Terrence Williams played today. Consistently making plays, making himself available. His route running was outstanding today. That play where he got loose, where the Chiefs were in cover 2 down the sideline. And Dak, again, I've highlighted this before in other videos. Dak's ability to throw on the run is to me, that's like one of his actual special traits. That and just, I saw Tony mention this, and we can kind of get to the Tony stuff now. I thought he was very, very candid when saying the Cowboys finally have a mobile quarterback, which makes them almost unstoppable in the red zone. But he was right. I mean, our red zone offense was inconsistent when we had Tony. We did a lot, and granted, our running game was up and down throughout his career. But with Dak Prescott in there, running that zone read with Zeke, and still having Dez, still having Jason Witten, still having Cole Beasley, how do you account for that defensively? Every week we see it. I mean, we don't really kick, unless the only way we really get stopped in the red zone is if there's a holding penalty. If we're blocking clean, we're getting in the end zone one way or another. That's just, I mean, even in scramble drill, Dak had a touchdown today where he broke the pocket and he's strong enough and fast enough to get himself into the end zone. So just very, very happy with our productivity on offense. 6 consecutive games, we've been over 28 points. And we're going to keep this ball rolling even going to Atlanta next week. I'm not afraid of anything I've seen from them. Now, you can't overlook your opponent, but just the nature in which this offense is starting to click, they're trending up the right way. Just a lot of other Cowboys fans I've been speaking with, we're starting to see that consistent push off the offensive line. I think they're starting to gel a little bit better. I think you're starting to see the upside of having Lael Collins at right tackle, especially in the run game, and just consistently getting that push. And Zeke looks, incredible. I mean, obviously, without it being said, we have to see his situations week to week. But this team is also showing a great job, and I do have to give Jason Garrett credit here of getting them, mentally ready to play and psyched up week to week with all the distractions going on behind the Ezekiel Elliott stuff. But we'll have to see what happens with Dez's injury and Terrence. It looks like they both had some ankle issues. Hopefully it's nothing too severe. With a little rest and rehab, they'll be back at it for Atlanta. And hopefully we have Zeke. But just very, very, impressed with how well we play complementary football. Because I was so pissed off at the end of the half. Just Byron Jones making just an idiotic play with the personal foul penalty, or else they take a knee and go in half, and we may even go away winning this game. Maybe the Chiefs don't even score a touchdown, to be very frank with you, because you have to realize, and this is one of the things that does concern me with the Cowboys, is situational awareness. I mean, we lost a playoff game last year to Aaron Rodgers because of lack of situational awareness, and that needs to be addressed. That play going in, even before the Tyreek Hill play, allowing someone to get out of bounds with no timeouts, to me is unacceptable. And then obviously the play. Now that was an Andy Reid special. Nobody had ever seen that before. Again, I brag about Andy all the time. He's on the cutting edge. And that was a play we had never seen before. I get it, screw guys up, but you still have to come downhill and make a tackle and get him down. It's 2 seconds left in the half. And again, you got to make a tackle. That momentum obviously led to, in my opinion, to the Chiefs scoring a touchdown coming out of halftime. But that's where I say complementary football comes into play, because you know what? Our offense, they left the half thinking they were going to go into halftime, going to halftime 14-3. And when they came back on the field, they had lost the lead. It was 17-14. They didn't sink their heads. They went on a second consecutive touchdown drive. The defense picks up their head. Okay, we got the lead back. And then after that, the offense then goes on their third consecutive touchdown drive and basically put this football game away. And that's what you want to see when you have a dominant offensive line, you have a very smart quarterback, and you have a great running back. You can put teams away in this league, especially when there's nobody outside of the Eagles. No one's really showing to be elite. And we're setting up a showdown with the Eagles. Because they have a bye week next week. If we handle our business against Atlanta, that's 8-1 versus 6-3 now. Right now we're with 2 games left to play against them. And again, I think we do match up well with the Eagles. I'm not afraid, even as well as they're playing right now. They're playing great. They're number one, and they should be number one in everyone's power rankings. But they're still a beatable football team. This Chiefs team that we handled today, they beat the Eagles. So just looking forward, and we're going to see, again, we're going to see a lot of the same stuff because of Andy Reid and Doug Peterson. When we play Carson Wentz. So I'm very, very excited just coming off this win. The team is really, really gelling, clicking at the right time, and I couldn't be prouder of just how we adjusted, to some bad situations that happened today and got out of it, and honestly had a dominant victory today. And it's good to see us play good, clean football, be dominant. Three game winning streak. Let's make it 4 next week. And as always, go Cowboys.